Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Loft tool, which is this one right up here. I'm going to go through this. This is a tool that is used to create a three-dimensional shape that goes from one cross-section, gradually converts into another cross-section. So this is something you wouldn't be able to use the extrude tool for, which is just one single cross-section that you're going from 2D shape to a 3D shape with. So a couple of things you're going to have to go through in order to be able to use a Loft tool. We're going to learn how to make your own work planes, which is up here, how to use them for your sketches, how to use those sketches then to create a 3D loft. This is one of those tools that when I was getting started I never really used a lot of these here, which I'm going to go through, and I'm going to actually make a video about each one of these tools to show how it can be used and what you need to do in order to use it. I'm starting here with the Loft. That's going to be in future videos. And to get started with the Loft, like I said, you need to make work planes. For the Loft that we're going to do, I am going to actually make it go from one cross-section to a different cross-section and then to a third cross-section. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to create 3 work planes. Really 2 work planes, and then I'm going to use the standard XY plane that is always there. So I come up here to plane. I'm going to go with offset from plane. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click XY. I'm just going to offset our work plane by 20 millimeters from the XY plane. It's just going to be parallel and 20 millimeters offset. And like I said, we're going to need 3 planes to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to offset it from that plane we just created. So now we have 3 planes that we can work with that are all parallel to each other, which is critical in order to do the simplified version. Really, you can do this without parallel planes. You can make some pretty cool shapes. But to do this simply, I'm just going to do 3 parallel planes. And the next step is I'm going to have to draw a cross section using a sketch on one of these planes. I'm going to start with the XY plane. I'm going to start out with I'm actually going to start with a square. I'm going to do the rectangle with 2 points, one being the center point and one of the corners. Starting at the center there. I'm going to make this a square. So that's all for this first cross section. We've got our square. We're going to finish the sketch. I'm going to start another 2D sketch on this first work plane. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to make a circle here. Also, just to note, I started out, I already had this part file open. If you wanted to see how you get started, opening the program, stuff like that, you can go ahead and you can check out my first video, the introduction video to Autodesk. And I'm going to go ahead and put a description for my channel and the links. You can go ahead and check out my other videos. Appreciate it if you subscribe, like this video, and go ahead and watch some of the other ones. So starting from the center point, I'm going to make this circle 10 millimeters, just like I did with the lengths there, just to make it, it'll be tangent on all these ends. And now with our third work plane, I'm going to do it again, a sketch. I'm going to do a rectangle. This time I'm going to do it 10 by 20 so you can see the difference. And cross-section change. And there we have it. We have our 3 cross-sections. Now, since this is pretty simple and they're all lined up on the same center point, we don't really need to do this next step, but for other more complex ones you will. So what I'm going to show you here is how to make a line that connects these 3. For the Loft tool, if you're going to get more complex, you would need to have a line showing what path you wanted it to take. So the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to make another plane. this time we're going to use the 3 points plane. And in order to do this, we're going to have to actually go back into our other sketch, our last sketch there, and we have to put a point. So coming up here to points, actually point over here, and we're going to make a point that's just right in the midpoint of the top portion of this rectangle. So we got our point, finished sketch. You can see our point still there. That's what this little crossing line is. You can see it right there. So now we're going to go ahead and make our work plane, the 3 points work plane. Come down here, select this. I'm going to select this point, and then this end point. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a perpendicular plane to these 3 different planes going right through the midpoint of each one of these lines. So then in order to make our connecting line, or in the Loft tool it actually calls it a rail, we're going to go to a 2D sketch. We're going to make it on that new work plane. And then what we have to do in order to reference points from these other sketches, we actually come up here to Project Geometry, and we have to select those points. And this actually pulls points or lines or whatever components of a sketch from another sketch and puts it into your current sketch on whatever plane you're on too. So if this was actually, if we did this for this circle and this rectangle, we could pull this circle onto this plane in our other sketch so that we can reference it, we can make things tangent to it, that sort of thing. It's for placement. So I got that point, and that point, and now I'm going to go ahead and make a line to connect these. And there you have it. We have our line that is going to be used as our rail in the Loft tool. It's pretty simple. We're already almost done actually. So I'm going to go ahead and select Loft. Now for Loft, you have to add your cross sections. So I got my square, add another one, got my circle, add another one, got my rectangle, and like I said, for something this simple, you don't even need your rail, but I'm going to go ahead and select it anyway. So you select your center line, boom, that's the line we just made. And as you can see, down here you can also select solid or surface. We're going to go ahead and make a solid object. And you also have these other options too that you actually have in Extrude as well, where you can cut, you can join, you can do a variety of things with it. We're just keeping it simple here, making the 3D object from 3 cross sections. And there you have it. That is how you use the Loft tool. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. If you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and keep an eye out for future videos. I'm going to be making them each week. I'm going to go through all these tools to start with, so if you have one in particular that you're looking for, definitely keep an eye out. Thanks for watching.